Welcome to Louis Gisto Field. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Alon Desai. It's my pleasure to bring you all the play-by-play action today here in Moraga, California. First pitch coming up pretty soon here after teams take the field for the national anthem. Crawdads come into this game against the Lincoln Potters at 6-7. The Potters 11-11 overall. And we will pause shortly for the national anthem and the starting lineups will be coming your way. National anthem is in the books for this afternoon, and the umpires are getting ready to take their positions. Crawdads at home for only the fifth time this season. We're on the road for quite a while. The past 8 days, played 7 games in 8 days. So road trip started against the Solano Mudcats, ended just a few days ago on Sunday against Caneo Oaks in a very close loss for the Crawdads. That was in Thousand Oaks over at the campus of California Lutheran University. But the Crawdads have a chance to get back to 500 this afternoon overall and catch up to the Prune Packers, who they currently trail by 2.5 games. The Healdburg Prune Packers are in first place in the North Division. The one nice thing about the road trip down south against teams like San Luis Obispo and Caneo Oaks and Arroyo Seco and the OC Riptide is that even though they are in the CCL, all of those teams are in the Southern Division. So those games do not count for your divisional record, which is ultimately what gets you to the playoffs in the California Collegiate League. On the mound today, it'll be Ula Iverson, lefty. His last time that he played against Lincoln. So it's really interesting today. Both pitchers who pitched in the first game that Lincoln and Walnut Creek squared off in were both Carson Coles and Ula Iverson, and both men are pitching today. Ula went 4 2/3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs. Did walk a man, but had 3 strikeouts. Overall in the season, he comes in with an ERA of 1.86 with 8 strikeouts, 4 walks. So Ula has been very consistent this summer for manager Brant Cummings and the Crawdads. On the other side, it'll be Carson Coles, who I mentioned pitched the first game between these two teams, a game that the Crawdads lost. And looks like first pitch is coming right up here. Hopefully we get it over with at 4:36 p.m. We're about 6 minutes late. Had some issues getting everything ready, but I think we're good to go. First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Matt Velker, is at 4:36 p.m. Game time temperature 70 degrees, and it's a strike from Ula. 0-1 pitch from Iverson, misses low and away. For the Lincoln Potters, it'll be Matt Velker, who's in the box right now. He's at DH. Quentin Hall, left field. He'll be batting second. Jason Brandow in right field batting third. Kenneth Jimenez, and catcher, will be batting cleanup. 1-1 pitch from Iverson is a fastball in the outer half called strike. The 5 batter will be Jake Sapien. He'll be playing third base. Jeffrey David in center field batting sixth. Cade Turnage, the first baseman, seventh. Drew Stahl, the second baseman, 8th, and the shortstop, Trevor Haskins, rounding out the lineup. This pitch misses outside. Looked like the same exact spot, but not called a strike there. So the count 2-2 to the leadoff hitter, Matt Velker. Velker's batting .246 this season. 2-2 pitch, misses high and away. Count runs full, 3-2. So the first man that Ulla Iverson is tasked with dealing with this afternoon works himself into a full count. We'll see what Ulla has. For the leadoff hitter, Velker. Ulla fires. This pitch fouled away on the left side. Count stays at 3-2. Behind the dish today for the Crawdads is Mark Gallart. So the battery for Walnut Creek, Iverson on the bump and Gallart behind the plate. The infield, it's Scavone at first, Rover at second, Dardar at short, and Werner over at third. 3-2 pitch once again is fouled back into the netting. Count will remain 3 balls, 2 strikes to start our game off here in Moraga, California. It's got to feel good for the Crawdads to be back home. You know, everybody likes going on the road, but 8 days straight in a summer league where you got to stay at the days in. Payoff pitch. This misses low and away, and Iverson walks the first man for the Potters. That's not something we've seen Iverson do often this season. He only walked 1 batter in the last matchup between these 2 squads. And that is Iverson's 5th walk that he's issued this year. That brings up the left fielder, Quentin Hall. He's played 21 games this summer for the Potters. First pitch to Hall, misses low and inside. In the outfield from left to right, it'll be Jordan Thompson, Dalton Mayshore in center. And in right field, it'll be Jake Brandell, who is new to the Crawdads. This will be his first game, his first start. Plays his ball over at UC Davis. 1-0 pitch is called a strike. Count 1-1 to Quentin Hall. Hall steps back into the box, gets ready. Iverson takes a glance over at first, and a lazy throw over to Scavone just to keep the runner where he is. And Velker, who's DHing today at the top of the Potter lineup, was able to slide in safely. Iverson deals, and this ball is hit. Runners in scoring position with nobody out, and a number 3 batter, Jason Brandow, coming up to the plate. Here's the right fielder for the Lincoln Potters, batting .327, 14 games, had 52 at-bats, so pretty good sample size as far as the summer goes. Still early in the summer, although the Potters have played a lot more games than the Crawdads have. The Crawdads have played still not their 20th game, and the Potters are at 11-11, so this is their 23rd game this season. First pitch to Brandell misses low for ball 1. Iverson figure out how to work himself out of some early trouble here. Doesn't want to get that pretty sub-2 ERA dirtied today. Second pitch is a fastball that is lined over to Rover at second, and he flips to second base. And it's a double play, so a good heads-up play by Tommy Rover. And there are 2 away. After a good pitch from Iverson. Good read on the ball by Rover. Kind of jammed over to him. And then he was able to flip to Dardar, who was covering second base. So here's the 4-hitter, Kenneth Jimenez. First pitch to Jimenez is fouled away, straight back. It'll be 0-1, still a runner at third base. In the form of Matt Velker. The Potters, who had a wonderful opportunity here on the road. Top of the first inning, 2 runners in scoring position. Hit into a double play. 0-1 pitch, misses low and inside. Count even at 1-1. So there were some bright moments, even though the Crawdads were only able to salvage 1 game out of the 7 that they played in Southern California. That was the game against the San Luis Obispo Blues. 1-1 pitch is hit very high, and the new right fielder, Brandell, in his first start, makes the catch near the warning track. That'll end the top of the first. No score yet here at Louis Gisto Field at St. Mary's College in Moraga, California. Crawdads coming up to bat. In just a few short moments, you are watching Crawdads baseball on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the first, about to get started here by the leadoff hitter, Jordan Thompson, who's in left field this afternoon for the Crawdads. It'll be Thompson, then Dardar, and Brandell. Batting fourth will be Dalton Mayshore. He's in center field. Brandell in right field, Dardar at shortstop. First pitch to Thompson from the pitcher Coles, misses inside. Batting fifth will be the third baseman, Trevor Warner. The DH will be Chase Dabbs. First base will be Tommy Scavone. Mark Gallart at catcher will be batting eighth. And finishing the lineup is Tommy Rover, the second baseman. Second pitch is low, but called a strike. 1-1 to the leadoff hitter, Thompson, who had some moments in the road trip. Definitely was able to use his speed. 1-1 pitch to Thompson is a curveball that's high. Count 2-1. To the Crawdad leadoff man. At first base today for the Crawdads is Devon Golden, usually where he is posted up, and Rob Selna at third. Obviously, Brant Cummings, the manager. 2-1 pitch to Thompson, misses low, and Thompson has an opportunity here to draw a leadoff walk out of the starter, Carson Coles, the man from Penn State. This is Cole's third start. 3-1 pitch. Thompson swings, has a go at it, fouls it over near the Crawdad dugout. In the last game between these two teams, I mentioned Coles started it, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 5, and walked 1. That was a 3-2 victory for the Potters. 3-2 pitch to Thompson. Thompson chops his foul. Defensive alignment for the Potters. It's Kenneth Jimenez behind home plate. He's playing catcher. Turnage at first, Stahl at second, Haskins at shortstop, and Jake Sapien over at third base. Quinton Hall's in left field, David in center, and Brandau in right. Thompson fouls this pitch off here. So a few foul balls in a row for the leadoff hitter, Jordan Thompson. Thompson led off in Sunday's game against Conejo Oaks. This pitch to Thompson misses outside, and Thompson has a leadoff walk. So good job there by the Crawdads leadoff man. Talking about it a little bit on the road trip, especially those last 3 games. The Crawdads did a really good job of being patient at the plate, working the count very deep, trying to get in some full count situations and just trying to see the ball better. And it's helped. It's helped on the scoreboard. They've been able to score 5 runs or more the past 3 games. First pitch here to Dardar is a curveball in there for strike 1. Dardar takes his swings from left-handed stance. Count 0-1 with Thompson on first. Still no score. Bottom of the first. Dardar thought about swinging. This ball gets away briefly from Kenneth Jimenez. Saw the hands get going there for Seth. Count even at 1-1. A lot of games, whole lot of games that the Potters have played so far this year. Their manager, Ryan Stevens, definitely wants to have them battle-tested. 1-1 pitch, misses inside. It gets past the catcher, and Thompson will jog into second as Jimenez looked like he was able to put a glove on it, but not able to block it completely. And the Crawdads have a runner in scoring position here in the form of Jordan Thompson in the bottom of the first inning against Lincoln. And even though it is a summer league, you don't want to lose to the same team multiple times, especially on your own home field. 2-1 pitch, misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to Seth Dardar. Dardar struck out, walked once against the Potters in the first game this season between the two. And this ball struck out to left field, but it will be caught by Hall. Thompson, unfortunately for him, not able to tag up. And that's the first out in the bottom of the first. And that brings on Jake Brandell, who is brand new, just joined the team today from UC Davis, right-handed batter. He's playing in right field today. Already had a little action his way, was able to squeeze the last out in the top of the first. And he has an opportunity here in his first at-bat with the Crawdads with a runner in scoring position. First pitch to him is a ball outside, breaking ball from Carson Coles. See how long both starting pitchers go today. 1-0 pitch is swung on and hit high but foul. And someone just pulled into the parking lot here, and that looks like where that foul ball was headed to. But don't hear any dings or the shattering of glass, so I think everything's okay. It's a very dangerous parking lot here at Louis Gisto Field. And fans are allowed once again. 1-1 pitch. Misses low. Perhaps a tick outside. Count 2-1 with 1 away, and Thompson standing over at second. Waiting for Rob Selna, third base coach, to wave him home. Cole's getting close to 20 pitches here. 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball, the outer half for strike 2. Count even at 2-2. Umpires today. Behind the plate is Constantine Bartlett. First base umpire is Paul Rice. And at third base, it is Harvey Maxey, who we've seen here at the Gisto several times. This pitch misses outside. Curveball, not on line there for Coles. And the count is full, 3-2. Oh, this has been part of the approach. I think that road trip really changed the philosophy of a lot of the hitters here. This Crawdad team really trying to be patient at the plate, not just swinging wildly. Payoff pitch is swung on and hit, and that'll get down in left field for a hit. And here comes Thompson around third to score. And he slides in, and he is called safe. So, looks like Kenneth Jimenez was not able to apply the tag. And Constantine Bartlett gives the safe signal. It looked like Thompson was just able to evade the tag there of Jimenez, who's having a little chuckle about it. But a good first at bat for Brandell in his first game here for the Crawdads. And here comes Dalton Mayshore, who's in center field today. Seen Sam Hunt play a lot of center field. Seen Mayshore DH quite a bit. First pitch to Mayshore, it's fastball. Right around the knees for strike one. Still one out. Crawdads lead 1-0 after Thompson was able to just barely tag home before that tag was applied by Jimenez. Second pitch outside for strike number 2. Just on the outside black. Count 0-2 with Brandell at first. 0-2 pitch from Coles is hit but fouled. Like that was chopped straight into home plate. So Mayshore able to stay alive here. On deck for the Crawdads is Trevor Werner, who's looking to find the rhythm once again at the plate. 0-2 pitch is outside, and Brandell steals second. The throw was offline from the catcher, Kenneth Jimenez. I mean, it was about 8 or 9 feet to the right side of the bag. And Brandell is in scoring position, so he gets the RBI single to left. Swipes second. Not the most graceful steal attempt, but the throw allowed him to get in there safely. And it's 1-2 to Dalton Mayshore. 1-2 pitch. Mayshore swings, chops this foul again. Maybe even gotten hit there. Let's see. Looks like that foul ball may have ricocheted against his body. And Mayshore taking a little time there. And there's going to be a short chat here between catcher Kenneth Jimenez and his buddy on the mound, Carson Coles. And Mayshore he's ready to go. The umpire, Constantine Bartlett. Initially, I thought Mayshore maybe the ball ricocheted against his knee or something like that, but instead it looks like the ball hit the left forearm of the home plate umpire Bartlett. But he says, hey, I'm a tough guy back here. That's why I'm the home plate umpire. Know what I'm doing. And let's get back to this ball game. Count still 1-2 to Dalton Mayshore. And this is the second opportunity here in the bottom of the first inning where the Crawdads have a runner in scoring position. 1-2 pitch. Mayshore swings. And this is fouled down the third base line. Count still 1-2. So Mayshore battling here. See if gets something he can hit. 1-2 pitch once again to Mayshore. Mayshore swings right through it. Good breaking ball there from Coles. And Mayshore goes down swinging. Oh, here comes Trevor Werner. It has not been going the way Werner has wanted it to go as of late. He's one of the better bats in this Crawdad lineup, but he has had some trouble striking out. First pitch to Warner. Warner gets a hold of it, hits this deep into center field. Going back on it is David, but David has enough room to make the catch. A good swing there by Warner, just not able to get everything he has into that ball. And that ends the bottom of the first. But the Crawdads are able to score off an RBI single from Brandell that was able to get Thompson home. And the Crawdads lead 1-0. Top of the second coming right up. Top of the second. Going to begin here with Jake Sapien at the plate for the Potters. He swings at the first pitch he sees, and it's strike one. It'll be Sapien, then David, and Cade Turnage, the first baseman. Second pitch to Sapien. Sapien lines this, and getting over to it is Mayshore. Wow, he just got a great read off the bat there. That was hit awfully hard by Jake Sapien. Mayshore able to take a great path to the ball. And on two pitches, Jake Sapien is retired. That brings up Jeffrey David, brand new to this Potters team. First pitch to David, misses high. Few guys playing in their first game today. Jeffrey David, the center fielder for the Potters. Trevor Haskins, shortstop for the Potters, just finished his year at Stanford. Count 2-0 to David. And then over for the Crawdads, the man who has the lone RBI early here, Jake Brandell. Third pitch is a fastball high and outside, but offered at. Not a pitch that David probably wants to swing at very often. I mean, not going to do much with that even if you do hit it. 2-1 here to David is a fastball. This one down the pipe. That's the one you want to swing at. David not able to pull the trigger, and the count even at 2-2 with one away. And the top of the second with the Crawdads leading 1-0. One hit for each team. 2-2 pitch is a fastball. This one about the same width away from the plate as the high and away fastball that David swung at, but not near the shirt collar letter area. This one closer to about belt high, but outside nonetheless. Count holds at 2-2. Ula Iverson looking for the strikeout pitch. A breaking ball in the inner half. And that could just not find its way over the corner of the plate. And count is full 3-2. Looked like a good breaking ball from Ula. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed in the dirt. And a strikeout for Ula Iverson as David. David goes down swinging, and here's Cade Turnage. Turnage comes into this game batting .200 with 7 RBIs. First pitch to Turnage is low. Perhaps bounces up to catcher Gallart. He's walked 9 times, but this is not a pretty number, folks. He has struck out 22 times. Second pitch is a fastball, the outer half, but a little low. Count 2-0. Iverson has had very good control so far. This pitch, the inner half, about the same height, right around the knees. This is called a strike, count 2-1. It's the 7th man that Iverson has thrown to this afternoon. 2-1 pitch is hit high, popped up in foul territory, and that's out of play. Count 2-2 with 2 away, as Iverson looking to make it out cleanly in the top of the second inning. 2-2 pitch from Ula is a breaking ball in the dirt that is swung on. Tag applied by Gallart. And Ula has it working today. Strikes out back-to-back batters to end the top of the second. Crawdads still lead 1-0, bottom of the second inning. Coming right up, you are watching Crawdads Baseball on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the second inning for Walnut Creek. The designated hitter number 37, Chase Dabbs. Welcome back. Bottom of the second inning. Here's Chase Dabbs, a lefty stepping in. First pitch to Dabbs is a strike. The outer half of the plate, about belt high. It'll be Dabbs, Scavone, and then Gallart. Dabbs was 1 for 3 on Sunday with a walk against the Conejo Oaks. Second pitch outside, that's a ball. Count 1-1 to the lefty Dabbs. We've seen Dabbs pitch. This pitch misses outside, count 2-1. Today he is the designated hitter. And Coles winds and deals. Dabbs hits this on the ground, but over to Stahl at second base. Stahl cannot come up with the ball. And that's a hit for Dabbs. It's a tough play to make for Stahl. Stahl dove. Was able to at least get a piece of the ball, so wasn't clean into right field. But a leadoff single for Chase Dabbs. So that's good for Chase. And here's Tommy Scavone. Seen him barrel a few balls up. First pitch to Scavone is a good breaker. Curveball. I don't think Scavone was expecting that. On the first pitch, and the count 0-1 with nobody out. A runner at first. Dabbs slides back in safely to the pickoff move from Coles. Crawdads have the lone run in this game off of 2 hits. Second pitch here to Scavone. Scavone swings. Big swing by Tommy. Not able to make contact. Very good pitch low. And Scavone in an 0-2 hole here with Dabbs at first base. Dabbs has his lead. And here's the 0-2 to Scavone. Scavone takes. That was on the outside half of the plate, called ball. Looked like there was a little cut action to that pitch from Coles. It's a good pitch, but Scavone did not offer at it. And a pickoff move once again. Dabbs is safe still at first. Dabbs has pitched this season. Seen him pitch an inning. Was clean, gave up no runs. 1-2 pitch to Scavone. Scavone check swing. Pitch was in the dirt. Count even at 2-2. Good eye by Tommy there. And on deck is the catcher, Mark Gallart. Pitch here to Scavone. Scavone fouls this into the plate. And a throw anyway from the catcher, Jimenez, over to first, even though the play is dead, as that was a foul ball. Count still even, 2-2. With Dabbs over at first. I believe Harvey Maxey was the one who indicated foul. And here's the 2-2 pitch from Coles. It's a good pitch. Scavone able to lay off, and the count runs 3-2 to Tommy here, who's playing first base this afternoon for the Crawdads. Payoff pitch from Coles. Scavone swings and fouls this. Another good pitch is going to have to be made here for Coles. After giving up the leadoff single to start the bottom of the second, Coles does not want to walk Scavone in a 3-2 count. Payoff pitch, Scavone swings. This is on the ground over to Haskins. Haskins fumbles the ball out of the glove, had trouble with the exchange. And that's an error on the shortstop, Haskins. In his first game this summer.
Batting 8th for Walnut Creek, the catcher number 20, Mark Goulart.
It's a rough start for Haskins. Could have been a double play. Definitely would have had the lead runner, Dabbs. And instead, Scavone reaches on an error. It's an E6. And here's the first pitch to Goulart. Coles has a wonderful curveball that he's thrown a few times this afternoon, but just hasn't been able to find the strikeout stuff in some of these full count situations. Threw a great pitch to Scavone, who grounded it, and that ball almost hits Goulart on the elbow, just able to lean out of the way enough to avoid being plunked. Count 1-1 to Mark Goulart. 1-1 pitch to Mark. Swings and misses. There's that breaking ball again from Coles. And Coles finds himself ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still nobody out with 2 runners on for the Crawdads. They've been able to put 3 runners in scoring position through 2 innings. Goulart fouls this over to the left. Good play by Jake Sapien, but all for naught as the ball was foul. And the count's still 1-2. Still nobody out. Crawdads lead 1-0. And Gallart looking to make good contact. Pitch to Gallart is fouled. And that will land somewhere past the Potter bullpen. In division play, Gallart still does not have a hit. This ball gets away from Jimenez. And there are now runners on the corners for the Crawdads as Dabbs able to make his way over to third base. Scavone stays at first. Count 2-2 after the pitch in the dirt from Coles. Gallart still looking for his first North Division hit here. 2-2 pitch. Gallart swings and fouls another ball out. I always wonder who collects the foul baseballs here at Louis Gisto Field. Someone does, or else it's a lot of money going down the pipe. Those baseballs are expensive. They were stuck on a ship in Long Beach for a while before they got here. 2-2 pitch is on the outer half, and Gallart goes down looking. He was not happy with that call, and he'll have to walk back to the dugout thinking about how he's going to regroup and get his first conference hit on his stat card. So after Gallart strikes out, I'll bring up the second baseman who's batting ninth today, Tommy Rover. Seen Rover play, I think, exclusively at second base this summer. Pitch to Rover. Rover fouls this back over near our camera woman. You can find some really good shots of the game, some good action photos over at crawdadsbaseball.com. Working on getting more content there. Count 0-1 to Rover. Here's the pitch. Rover swing and a miss. Took a big hack at that. Cole's able to work the ball by him. Crawdads have a chance with one away, and Dabbs at third. Any contact on the ground, probably score him. Hit it over to the right side, definitely. 0-2 pitch, Rover swings, and is able to just get a piece of it. So he'll stay alive. Count will remain 0-2 with one out. The other player that has played, I think, just the one position for the Crawdads all summer is Kernos out at Burns, who's been in right field. Not there today. Runner goes from first, and the ball gets away from Jimenez as he tried to pick it. It's not a horrible pitch. I mean, it was outside. It was going to be a ball. And Jimenez could not catch it as Dabbs comes in to score on the pass ball. Second of the game for Jimenez, and the Crawdads with another runner in scoring position as Tommy Scavone, who was moving from first to second. Very low stretch steal for him, as there was no throw from Jimenez. The Crawdads up 2-0. Count 1-2 to Rover. Rover takes. This ball bounces away from Jimenez. Count 2-2. I mean, you can understand it's tough to catch some of these guys that you haven't seen before, especially in Summer League, but the Potters have played 22 games. This is their 23rd. And those are the kinds of mistakes you can't be making, especially in a developmental league like this where there are scouts watching, attending the games. 2-2 pitch to Rover. Rover swings. Great curveball there. And Rover is out on strike. So good pitch there by Coles after the pitch gets away from his teammate Jimenez behind the plate. It's an unearned run. But there are now two outs, and The young man who led this game off for the Crawdads with a walk, Jordan Thompson, has his second trip to the dish with a runner on second in the form of Tommy Scavone. Thompson offered that pitch, popped it up high and foul, out of play. Seen a lot of foul balls through not even 2 full innings of play yet. And Thompson able to make very weak contact over to first, and he is out as Turnage was able to flip to Coles for the third out of the second inning. But the Crawdads able to score a run off of a pass ball, and they lead 2-0 against the Potters here at Louis Gisto Field in Moraga, California. You are watching Crawdads Baseball on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Welcome back. Crawdads lead 2-0 over the Lincoln Potters. First pitch to Stahl. Stahl takes a swing at it, hits it very high. It looks like Mayshore will call for it in right center, and he has the ball for the first out. So one pitch, one away for Ulla Iverson. Looking very composed. Giving up a double to the second hitter, Hall. And here's Trevor Haskins, the 9-hitter, shortstop. First pitch to Haskins, misses low. After Haskins, it'll be Velker. Did walk Velker back in the first. But other than that, really no trouble for Iverson. This is a good fastball on the inside, right around the hands. That is swung through by Haskins. Haskins a righty. Another good fastball there from Ulla Iverson as Haskins cannot catch up to it. This one not high and inside, but instead low. And time called by Haskins, granted by the home plate umpire Bartlett. One-two pitch. Haskins gets good wood on it. Going back on it is Mayshore in dead center. Makes the catch. 2 away. So the new commit to Stanford lines the ball to Mayshore. And here is Matt Velker, the designated hitter who's leading off today's game. And he'll have a chance. Down 0-1 with 2 away. Potters trailing by 2. Crawdads lead 2-0 here in the top of the third. Second pitch from Ulla is good for strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Velker, who walked in his first appearance. It was an interesting first inning for the top of the order for the Potters. A walk and then a double, but not able to manufacture a run. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. And the put out over at first, obviously in time. So Ula is on cruise control. And the Potters are still blanked on the scoreboard. Score still 2-0 Crawdads. Here's Seth Dardar. Bottom of the third inning. It'll be Dardar, Scavone, and then Gallart. First pitch to Dardar is a curveball. Really good one. Looked like it clipped the zone, but it's ball one. Coles has to be getting frustrated. I mean, there are a few pitches that feel have been strikes, and he has not gotten the call. 1-0 pitch from Coles. This a clear ball. Dardar came into this game batting .370, has the 7 RBIs. Still hasn't had a hit this year against Coles. Be ample opportunity for that today. 2-0 pitch is called a strike. Count 2-1 to the Crawdad leadoff man here in the bottom of the third inning. Crawdads with the 2 runs on 2 hits. 2-1 pitch. Dardar goes to the opposite field with this, but not hit all that strongly, and it hangs up long enough for Hall to make the catch. It's a nice idea to go the other way, but the ball just not hit well enough, and he is retired. I'll bring up Jake Brandell, who has an RBI today. Pitch to Brandell, high and inside for ball 1. Brandell had that RBI single to left. That was able to bring Thompson home. 1-0 pitch, misses low and away. A little dirt flared up there. Count 2-0. That's probably the last thing Jimenez wants to see behind the dish. Some balls bouncing up to him. He's had a little bit of an adventure here through 2 and a third. Coles puts the glove back on. And the righty is ready to go once again. 2-0 pitch here to Brandell. Brandell swings, and wow, he's seeing it real well, ain't he? So he able to get a hit there. Little liner into shallow left. And Brandell is 2 for 2. So 2 singles for Jake in his first game here in summer ball for the Crawdads. And that's a way to get some friends in a hurry. You know, maybe you don't know everybody yet, but get a few knocks in a game and everybody, hey, Jake's a pretty cool guy. First pitch here to Dalton Mayshore, misses outside with Brandell on first. He is a pretty cool guy. I had a chance to speak with him before the game, was able to show them where some of the facilities were here at St. Mary's. 1-0 pitch, and Brandell is on the move, slides into second, and he is out. Good strong throw there from Kenneth Jimenez, maybe able to let out some of the frustration on that throw to second. It was perfect, on the money. And there are 2 away after Brandell is caught stealing. Check swing here from Mayshore. And he did not go, so it is 2-1 with 2 outs. 2-1 pitch from Coles is on the way. Here it is, and swung on, but hit on the ground to Sapien, who fires wide of first base, and that'll be a throwing error on Sapien. As Mayshore will have second base, the throwing error. That can happen for Jake Sapien at third. Plant your feet, then fire. Really, you didn't have to be in a rush. You know, what's that saying? Go quick, but not fast? Well,
Third baseman, Trevor Werner.
he went fast very quickly. Here's Trevor Werner, the runner in scoring position. So good start for the Crawdads. Like to see more runs on the board if you are Brant Cummings. First pitch is a curveball in the inner half for ball 1. Trying to front door the righty Werner. And the 1-0 to Werner. Werner, big cut and a miss. Count 1-1. Really would like to see Trevor put another good swing. He did put a pretty good swing on the ball in his first at bat, but flew out to center. The road trip was not great for him. This pitch misses, 2-1. He had a streak in last 9 at-bats of the road trip in which he struck out 7 times. And one of the times was with the bases loaded. A chance to take the lead. 2-1 pitch to Werner is high. And Werner able to exhibit some patience here. Wait for his pitch. The 3-1 to Werner, misses outside, and Werner will be at first base after the 4th ball. That's a way to get yourself out of a funk. Get on base. So really good job there. I'm sure Devon Golden's telling him, hey, you know, much better plate discipline and keep it up. You'll get your chance. You'll get a ball that you can really rip into. And looks like the day is coming to an end soon for the starter Carson Coles. As probably the plan was for him to go 3 innings. A little time being bought here with the mound visit. Up to bat is Chase Dabbs after the walk to Werner. Dabbs was able to single to right, the bottom of the 2nd. Then Scavone, after him, was able to reach on an error. So been a few errors, a few passed balls for the Potters. The Crawdads will always take that. I mean, can never complain about found money. But have to see the bats be a little more impactful on this game, especially with all the runners they've had in scoring position. And Carson steps off the mound. Has a gander back at second. Crawdads lead at 2-0 with 2 away and 2 runners on. Pitch here is down the pipe for strike 1 to Chase Dabbs, who's playing in the DH role today. Still looking for his first divisional hit. 0-1 pitch to Dabbs is a good pitch. Add some curve action to it. The count 0-2. And Coles has a chance to get out of this inning unscathed. 0-2 pitch, check swing, and Bartlett says he went. He did indeed. And on 3 pitches, Chase Dabbs is taken care of for the 3rd out in the bottom of the 3rd. But the Crawdads still have a 2-0 lead. Top of the 4th coming up next. You are watching Crawdads Baseball on the Walnut Creek Crawdads streaming network. Top of the 4th, Ulla Iverson about to embark on his 4th inning of work. And first batter he'll face here in the top of the 4th is Quentin Hall, who grounds over to short. Dardar has it, fires to first, 1 away. So when Ulla gets in these grooves where he's just throwing everything with confidence, I mean, he is tough to deal with. The Potters already know that. I mean, they saw him in the first game between the Potters and the Crawdads on the 8th of June. And he only gave up 1 earned run in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Here's Brandow. First pitch to Brandow is a good curveball that just absolutely locked him up. Brandow had 2 on base in his first at-bat. Second pitch to Brandow misses low. Count even at 1-1. So Velker to lead off the game walked, and then Hall doubled, so there were runners on 2nd and 3rd, and then Brandow hit into a 4-6 double play. Rover caught the ball. Third pitch misses inside and low. Rover caught the ball. It was a liner, and then he was able to flip over to second to the covering shortstop Dardar. So he hit it right to the 4-man, and then 4-man flips it on to second. This ball flared into right center, and it gets down. Hung up near the wall, and the relay into third, not in time. That's a triple. Didn't look like it had a whole lot on it. It was not hit particularly high, but it was able to blow out. The wind is blowing out towards right center field. There's a bit of a power alley. I've mentioned it before. I was told by our guy here, Sam, who does a lot of the grounds stuff and facilities for St. Mary's College during the regular season. He's told me it's absolutely a power tunnel from basically the 370 sign in right center all the way to the sign in right field. At 3:30, first pitch here is low to the catcher, Jimenez. This pitch, a strike. Count 1-1 with one away, and the Potters with a runner in scoring position for the second time today. Brandow able to make up for that double play he had in his first at-bat, standing over at third. This pitch, low, but called a strike. Count 1-2. That looked like that was maybe right around the shins. If that's getting called a strike, it makes it real tough on the batter. Got a lot more of that zone to protect. And the 1-2 pitch here from Iverson is a breaking ball that's fouled. Over towards the third base coach, John Peters, for the Potters. Over at first base is Joel Tice. And mentioned before, the manager is Ryan Stevens. 1-2 pitch from Ula is popped up off the end of the bat, and that will fall fair as Brandel cannot make it there. And it's an RBI single. Dropped just inside the foul line in right field. It was a good pitch, but the hustle by Brandau, able to get himself into third, enables him to score, because if he was at second base with a double instead of a triple, I don't know if he has the wheels to get all the way home. Here is Jake Sapien, lined out in his first at-bat to center field. First pitch to Sapien, misses low, ball one with one away. And so one-run game at the moment as Crawdads' 2-0 lead is gone. It is now 2-1. 1-0 pitch is a fastball that misses high and outside. Lefty Gallart able to flash that glove. Lefty with the glove, that is, able to flash it very quickly. He hasn't had the problems behind the plate that the Potters have, in particular Kenneth Jimenez. This pitch swung on and missed in the dirt, perhaps foul-tipped. Didn't go anywhere if it was foul-tipped. Count 2-1 with one out. And the runner, Jimenez, having a small lead over at first. He's the catcher, so don't know if he'll have the steal on. This pitch lined on the ground into left field, perfectly in between the shortstop Dardar and the third baseman Werner. And trouble is brewing here for Ula Iverson. Back-to-back singles for the Potters. And here's the center fielder, David. Started off well for Ula against Hall, able to take care of him, and then the triple to Brandau and back-to-back singles to both Jimenez and Sapien. The Jimenez one really hurts because that hung up quite a while. Brandel just could not get over on his horse fast enough. First pitch is a called strike around the knees to David. David struck out in the top of the second. He was the first of back-to-back strikeouts that Ula was able to record against David, and then Turnage. Turnage on deck with one strike, one away. Pitch to Sapien, misses in. No, they called strike. Okay, Sapien kind of had to get out of the way of it. And the zone, I don't like to do this, but the zone has not been all that consistent today from the home plate umpire, Constantine Bartlett. So it's tough. I mean, it's been tough on the hitters to get a good gauge on what is and isn't a strike. And Ula ahead 0-2, hunting for the punch-out. 0-2 pitch is fouled. Count stays 0-2 with one away. Two runners on for the Potters in a 2-1 game here in the top of the fourth. Crawdads looking to end a rather lengthy losing streak. Lost both games to the Conejo Oaks. Lost to the Arroyo Seco Saints, the OC Riptide, and then the second of 2 against the San Luis Obispo Blues. So that's 5 games they've now lost in a row. Ula looks back at second and fires. 0-2 pitch is fouled back into the netting over by the on-deck man, Cade Turnage. But Ula still ahead, 0-2. Thrown 55 pitches up to this point. Trying to strike out David for the second time. 0-2 pitch is swung on, hit very high. This could be a bloop if it gets down. Rover not able to track it, and it does indeed find the outfield grass, and the bases are loaded on 3 consecutive singles for the Potters. One just inside the foul line in right field. The other, the second, which was Sapiens, was on the ground in between the shortstop Dardar and the third baseman Werner. And now David with a bloop single. Just maybe a few feet out of reach of the second baseman Tommy Rover. And no chance for the center fielder Mayshore or the right fielder Jake Brandell to converge upon the ball. So with 1 out, the bases are loaded, 2 runners in scoring position in what, for the moment at least, is a 2-1 lead for the Crawdads, but that could change if the piece of wood that Cade Turnage has in his hands is able to connect through the baseball. Cade Turnage, who struck out just as David did back in second inning, has a chance to make up for that and more. Turnage hits this on the ground to Werner. Werner goes home with the ball, and a good play by Gallart, who looks like he was able to keep his foot on home plate. And there's a force out at home. A good job by Werner. Sometimes that can be a greedy play, but the ball was hit right at him. And Werner's got a strong arm, so he was able to get it to Gallart. There is a conversation ongoing between the home plate umpire Bartlett and the manager Ryan Stevens. And after that conversation between Stevens and Bartlett, there's a meeting between the 3 umpires. So Max Harvey, who's been over at, Harvey Maxey, who's been at third base, Paul Rice, who's been at first base this afternoon, and the aforementioned Constantine Bartlett. So after that, obviously there's no replay in the CCL, so you can't go back and change a call. Probably just telling them, hey guys, if you had a better view of it. But I mean, how much of a better view can the first base or the third base umpire have when you're the guy at home plate and the throw is to home? At any rate, Gallart does make the play, keeps his foot on home plate. Have to take a look at that later and see if that was the correct call. First pitch here is fouled away by Stahl, who's batting in the 8th spot. The second baseman for the Potters is. Base is still loaded. Boy, Ula is walking the tightrope right now, trying to hold on to this 2-1 lead that the Crawdads are still in possession of after a very close play at the plate. Second pitch is a fastball in the dirt. Good block by Gallart. It's very important in these situations with runners in scoring positions, especially when that runner is at third. Make sure nothing gets by you. And into the backstop. 1-1 pitch misses low. That time Gallart picked it instead of blocking it. And they count 2-1 with 2 outs. And Ula is now at 60 pitches with that last pitch. So this will be pitch 61. 2-1 count to Stahl. 2-1 pitch is checked at and called a strike down at first by Paul Rice. So the appeal was down to first. The count is even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. To the second baseman, Stahl. See what Ula has for him. Be a nice time to bust out that curveball. And there it was, and gets him swinging. So a good job by Ula to tap dance himself out of danger. And that should probably end his day, as he is now well above 60 pitches, probably around 63 according to my count. But he did a very good job. Crawdads still lead 2-1, and the bottom of the 4th inning is coming right up. And the Potters must be very frustrated after leaving the bases loaded. They were able to score a run in the top of the 4th, but 1 was not enough to tie it. So still 2-1 Crawdads. Be right back with the bottom of the 4th. Here's Tommy Scavone. Crawdads leading 2-1. First pitch to Scavone is a fastball called strike. Carson Cole still on the mound, so Ula Iverson able to go 4 innings so far. Big swing and a miss there from Scavone. And the count is 0-2. Another swing at a pitch in the dirt, and Jimenez throws to first. And Scavone is the first out in the bottom of the 4th. That'll bring the catcher Mark Allart, who made a great play stretching out for the throw from Werner last half inning, and was able to keep his foot at home plate for a force out, able to stop a run coming in. First pitch to Gallart is a ball high and inside. Count 1-0 to the Crawdad catcher. Gallart pops this up on the infield, and who's going to call it? It'll be the shortstop Haskins. Interesting, as Cade Turnage and Stahl, the second baseman, were both there, but Haskins did have some trouble earlier with the ball out of the glove exchange. So maybe he just is looking to get himself into the game a little bit more. 2 outs after the pop-up. And here's Tommy Rover. Crawdads going down quickly so far in this half inning. Rover swings. This is over to Stahl at first base. Cade Turnage dove for it. Wow, so Cade Turnage was able to get it and throw it over to the covering pitcher, Coles. It's a heck of a dive there by Turnage. For a second, I wasn't sure if he had come up with it or not, whether it had gotten through. If it did, Stahl would have been there to cover. But a Herculean effort there by Cade Turnage. A very rapid 1, 2, 3 inning for Carson Coles, and top of the 5th coming up in just moments. Crawdads still lead 2-1 here at Louis Gisto Field in Moraga, California. Ula Iverson is going to stay out there, at least to start the top of the fifth. Carson Cole's counterpart on the other side is up to 80 pitches. First pitch here is fouled away by Trevor Haskins. So it'll be Haskins, Velker, and Hall, 9-1 and 2. Ula Iverson's pitch count significantly lower than Cole's. Iverson at 64 pitches. 0-1 pitch to Haskins. Haskins makes contact, but can't keep it in the field of play. And Haskins is down 0-2 to Iverson, who's probably still pinching himself a little bit, how he did not give up any runs last half inning. Curveball that Iverson just lost out of the hand. Ball 1-2 to Haskins. Now, first game of a 3-game homestand for the Crawdads. Crawdads looking to get off on the right foot. 1-2 pitch. Haskins hits this over the head of Tommy Rover, and he will speed on into first. Thought about digging for two. Settles down at the bag. That's a leadoff single for the Potters. And they'll definitely appreciate that from their 9-hitter, Haskins. Just graduated high school. So he's the baby of the bunch for Lincoln. And here's the designated hitter, leadoff man for this contest, Matt Velker. First pitch to Velker misses low. Ball 1 from Ula. So we've seen a lot of pitchers go only 3 innings so far this summer. Looks like Ula, though, may pitch all of the 5th. Pickoff move over to first. Haskins, safe. Velker plays his ball over at Loyola Marymount. From Granite Bay, California. Played his high school ball there in Granite Bay. 1-0 pitch from Ula is hit straight up the middle, but a play on it by Dardar, who steps on the bag, but then fires the throw about 15 feet over the head of Tommy Scavone at first. So able to get the lead runner, but then there's an errant throw over to first base. Velker able to make it into second base as the ball is out of play, as Dardar had a just cookie-cutter opportunity for a double play, and in his exuberance to throw the ball to first, he skied it. So here's Quentin Hall, the left fielder, right-handed batter. First pitch to Hall is fouled off the bat. Count 0-1 with a runner in scoring position, 1 away. So at least able to get 1 out, but Seth knows it. That's got to be a double play, and he's kicking himself out there. But it is summer ball. Stakes aren't incredibly high, but everybody likes to win. 0-1 pitch on the way from Ula. And that is possibly another bloop single for the Potters, but it's not to be as Brandell able to make the catch. Been a few hits in some in-between areas for the Potters, but not that time. That's out number 2.
Right fielder, Jason Brandow.
So here is Jason Brandow, who's in right field. He's hit into a double play today. Did have a triple, though, top of the 4th, where the lone run for the Potters was scored. 2 away. First pitch to Brandow is a curveball that he lines into center, and we'll see if the catch is made. It is by Mayshore. Was able to hustle from his center field spot into shallow center field, and what could have been trouble after the errant throw by Dardar ends up not hurting the Crawdads, and they still lead by a run. It is 2-1 heading into the bottom of the 5th. You are watching Crawdads Baseball on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the 5th in a 2-1 game that the Crawdads lead. It'll be Thompson, then Dardar and Brandell. There is a new pitcher
Left fielder, number 16, Jordan.
for the Potters. So Carson Cole's day is done. Carson able to go 4 innings, give up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned. And did walk 2, was able to strike out 5, faced 18 men, so pretty good outing for Carson Coles. Was squeezed a bit perhaps, but able to work through that. New pitcher is Daniel Sotelo. He's a lefty. So we'll see what he's able to do off of the righty leadoff batter here, Jordan Thompson. And time is called. Thompson walked to lead off for the Crawdads in the bottom of the 1st. And then was retired 3-1 in his second at-bat in the 2nd. Pitch to Thompson, fouled back into the netting. Count 0-1. So Iverson able to go longer than Coles. It's really promising for Ula. Second pitch is a ball low in the dirt. Count 1-1. Makes it a lot easier on coaching staff as well as the bullpen arms when the starters can go deeper. 1-1 pitch. Misses low. And looks like home plate umpire Constantine Bartlett needed some more baseballs, so he got them. The count 2-1 to Thompson. Daniel Sotelo is a Rough Rider. 2-1 pitch to Thompson is fouled back and out of play. So that's a Yavapai College. It's from Tempe, Arizona. 5'10" freshman. Count 2-1 to Thompson. And here's the pitch. Thompson swings and misses. And check that. That was actually a 2-2 count. And that is a strikeout. So good start here for the new pitcher, Sotelo. And here comes Seth Dardar, who flew out in his last at-bat to left field. Tried going the opposite way, but the ball not hit that hard. Dardar still looking to get the memories of that error out of his brain. Dardar, big swing and a miss. You saw he was trying to make up for it there. Maybe go into the power alley in right field. But he is down 0-1 to Sotelo. Sotelo sets and delivers. Dardar makes contact here, but it is foul over near the Crawdad bullpen. The count 0-2 with one out. And a 2-1 ball game that the Crawdads lead. Still only 3 hits for the Crawdads. They've had runners on. Potter's doubling them in the hit column. This pitch misses outside, and they're going to say Dardar did swing. So it's back-to-back Ks for the new pitcher, Sotelo. And here comes Brandell. Jake Brandell has half of the runs today for the Crawdads. 1 RBI. They have 2 runs. It's half. First pitch to Brandell, the righty. He check swings and is not able to hold himself back. Count 0-1. Some good pitches here from Sotelo. Sotelo delivers, and Brandell able to get some charge into this ball, but going back on it is the center fielder, David, and he has it for the 3rd out in the top of the 5th. Nobody able to reach. A 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts for the man out of Yavapai College, Sotelo. And this game's starting to move pretty quickly here already, the bottom of the 5th. And it's still 2-1. Crawdads lead by a run. We'll be right back. Top of the sixth. Still 2-1 Crawdads. And there's a new pitcher for Walnut Creek. Will Iverson is out. First pitch from Daniel Garza, who is the new pitcher, the right-hander from Houston, Texas. The UTSA Roadrunner. Misses for ball one to Kenneth Jimenez. Second pitch, a strike on the inner half. Jimenez does not like it. Frustrated. You're going to have to take a little stroll away from the box. Maybe adjust the gloves, pick the bat back up. Doesn't want to say anything. Get tossed. It'll be Jimenez, who's at the plate right now, then Sapien and David. And the pitch is good. Breaking ball there. Kind of a power curve. And the count 1-2 to Jimenez. 1-2 pitch from Garza. It's another ball low. This is on a bouncer to Dardar. Dardar throws over to first. This one on line. And that's the first out in the top of the sixth. So Ula Iverson able to go 5 innings, give up 6 hits, but only 1 run. It was earned. Walked a man and struck out 4. And there were a few situations that Iverson had to navigate out of. He had runners on scoring position in the first, and then the 4th inning, which could have been a nightmare. First pitch here, again, there's that curveball. That is a beauty from Garza to Sapien. Call the ball. Count 1-0 with 1 out. Second pitch to Sapien is a fastball that misses low and inside. Count 2-0. Garza, not with the best ERA so far this season. 8.1. Third pitch is fouled. Count 2-1 to Sapien. This is Garza's 4th appearance this season. 2-1 pitch is a fastball. Just misses the inner half. Count 3-1 to the third baseman for the Potters. Jake Sapien hits this into right field. Brandel is looking at it, has it at the warning track. That's allowed out number 2. And that ball wasn't even hit all that well, but like we've said here before, this is only the 5th game at St. Mary's College at Louis Gisto Field, but that right field down the line, I mean, it's easy to get balls out. So here is center fielder David. He struck out once. First pitch to David. That curveball from Garza is mesmerizing, and looks like the Potters are still trying to figure out the trajectory of it is, where it's landing, how it works. Back-to-back curveballs and back-to-back strikes from Garza. Garza's last appearance was June 18th against the Riptide. He went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 4. 0-2 pitch is a curveball. This is fouled away into the parking lot. And everybody's car is safe, I think. Into the road. Not much traffic going on here. Moraga at the campus of St. Mary's. 0-2 pitch is another curveball. This is chopped high. Garza has it just off the mound and throws over to first. 3 up, 3 down for the Potters. Good first inning out of the pen for Daniel Garza. And the bottom of the 6th, we'll have the Crawdads up to bat, where they will try to expand their 2-1 lead. You are watching Crawdads baseball here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the sixth, about to get started. There's a new pitcher for the Lincoln Potters. It is Marlon Brucato, who actually pitched back on June 8th against the Crawdads in first game between the Crawdads and the Potters here at Louis Gisto Field nearly a month ago. He went 3 innings, didn't give up a run, struck out 1, faced 9 men. Once again, that was a 3-2 win for the Potters, so Crawdads looking to get a little bit of revenge here and get back into their winning ways. That they were once 6-2. That'll be Mayshore, who will lead off the bottom of the sixth. First pitch to Mayshore from Brucato is a fastball that bounces in the dirt. Ball 1. Brucato has a real over-the-top delivery, if memory serves me correctly. 1-0 pitch here, and there it is. Yeah, that thing is coming straight over the top. I mean, that is like a windmill. Count 1-1. On deck is Werner, and then in the hole is Chase Dabbs. This pitch, a breaking ball that misses high and inside. It's 2-1 to the leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the sixth, Dalton Mayshore. Brucato sets and delivers. Swing and a miss there by Mayshore. Brucato, the Sparks, Nevada native, pitches at William Jessup in Sacramento. This ball low and in the dirt. Count full, 3-2. Mayshore reached on an error this afternoon. Struck out. Still no hits for Mayshore. 3-2 pitch. Mayshore chops this over towards the third baseman. And was that ruled foul? Was it fair? That's very odd. Sapien had it, threw it over to first. And Mayshore is out on the play. It looked like it may have hit his foot. I mean, it's been a weird game, especially at the plate for both teams. The official scoring is that's a 5-3 for Mayshore. Here's Trevor Werner. Werner watches the first curveball go by for strike 1. Werner walked back in the third, so that's a step in the right direction. Some good contact in the first. Fly out to center. And this ball hit on the ground over to Haskins. Haskins sides arms it over to first base, and Turnage has it. Well, that's 2 outs. But Werner is now starting to put the bat on the ball, which is good. And the results will come for the young man. And here's the designated hitter, Chase Dabbs, who has a single to right and a strikeout, so he's 1 for 2. Brucato working quickly. First pitch to Dabbs is swung at. It's chopper up the middle. That'll be a 2-out base hit in the bottom of the sixth. Crawdads lead by 1. It's 2-1. That was their 4th hit of this afternoon's game. Afternoon slowly turning into this evening. And here's Tommy Scavone, who reached on an error back in the second. It's an E6. And he was struck out in his last at-bat. First pitch to Scavone is a good fastball on the outer half, right around the knees for strike 1. This pitch misses low. Count 1-1 to Tommy. Got to talk to Tommy's parents a bit on the road trip at Caneo Oaks over at Cal Lutheran. Really nice people. Really all the parents that we've interacted with at our games have been wonderful. This pitch gets away on the pickoff move, and that'll be a free base for the Crawdads. So runner in scoring position. As Chase Dabbs finds himself on second. After a little hit up the middle for Dabbs. And the count 1-1 with 2 outs. And Scavone at the plate. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Scavone. He swings at it. It's a pitch that was low. Tried to golf at it. Could not connect. Count 1-2. We really appreciate when all the parents and family come to the games. Working on hopefully getting some bleachers here at Louis Gisto Field. Fans are allowed now. This pitch swung on and missed by Scavone. That ends the 6th inning. So the Crawdads leave a runner stranded on second. And the score remains 2-1, Walnut Creek over the Lincoln Potters. 7th inning coming right up. I'm Alon to say, and you are watching Crawdads Baseball on the Crawdads Streaming Network.
Leading off the top of the 7th inning for Lincoln.
Top of the 7th. It's Turnage, Stahl, and Haskins. Garza's still on the mound for the Crawdads. 2-1 Crawdads. Curveball. Missed inside. It's got a lot of break on it. I mean, that started right around the shoulder of Turnage and almost ended up over the plate. 1-0 pitch is outside but fouled away. Count 1-1. We've seen Garza able to hit both sides of the plate with the curveball. Been a real pretty curveball. 1-1 pitch. And it's another curveball. This one lower in the zone. Just dipping out of the zone. And Turnage not able to hold his water there. And the count 1-2. 1-2 pitch to Turnage is foul tipped. Swung on in the dirt, actually, and Gallart able to put him out over at first. So at first it looked like maybe it was a signal for a foul tip, but then actually it was a third strike in the dirt that was swung on, and that is a strikeout for Garza.
Number 13, Carson Blatnick.
Here's a pinch hitter for Ryan Stevens and the Potters. It's Blatnick. He's hitting for Drew Stahl. First pitch misses low. So We'll see what Carson Blatnick can do. Carson fouls this over to the Crawdad dugout. So that ends Stahl's day. Struck out. Was not able to reach base today. Blatnick comes into this game 3 for 13, batting just .230 with 2 RBIs. Blatnick, I believe, according to the Potter scouting report at least, is primarily a catcher. Pitch to Blatnick, swung on and missed. Count 1-2 with 1 away. Carson Blatnick. Blatnick hails from Roseville, California. He's over at UW, so Washington. Pitch to Blatnick. He swings over a pretty curveball there from Garza. He's saying that a lot. I mean, that curveball is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's pretty. I mean, whatever adjective you want to talk about or bring up, you can apply it to Garza's curveball. Garza has the curveball working, and here is Trevor Haskins. Back-to-back strikeouts in the top of the 7th for Garza. First pitch to Haskins is a curveball front door to the righty Haskins. I mean, at what point do the Potters just lose their collective minds? Swing and a miss there on another curveball. I mean, it's been curveball, curveball, curveball. Every once in a while you get a fastball from Garza. But why throw anything else when these Potters hitters are just bamboozled at the plate? Still 2-1, Crawdads. 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors for the Potters. Fastball misses low. There's the fastball. And count is 1-2. And we'll see if the hook comes out again. There it is. Grounded over to Werner. Werner has it. Throws to first. A bit low, but in time. And Garza is having no issues on the bump in relief. Score still 2-1 Crawdads, bottom of the 7th, coming right at you. Bottom of the 7th, rather. Going to be started here by Mark Gallart. It'll be Gallart, Rover, and Thompson. Pitch to Gallart is hit over Towards first base, it gets down right in between Sapien, who has moved from third over to first, and the second baseman. Taking Sapien's spot at third is Trey Furry, number 9. Rover shows bunt and fouled. And at second base, a lot of changes here for the Potters after the pinch hitter that they had in Blatnick. And over at second is Grant. So Grant now at second in place of Stahl. Sapien at first. And Trey Furry over at third. Sapien moves from third to first. Turnage is out. Stahl is out. Trey Furry and Grant are in. Second pitch to Tommy is a strike. And Rover's down 0-2 after a good curveball with a man on first. A good piece of hitting by Gallart, able to get it in between Sapien, who's new over at first, and Grant, who's newly inserted at second. Probably the place you want to hit it. Two guys who haven't been over there. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Rover, who takes low for ball 1. Count 1-2 to Tommy, playing second base for the Crawdads. Mercado still out there for Potters. We'll see how long he stays in the game. And here's the 1-2 to Rover. Rover swings, just gets a piece of it. Flies into the backstop. Count still 1-2. On deck is Jordan Thompson. It's interesting to see a lot of pinch hitting and substitutions for a lot of these teams all around the CCL. And pretty much you get what you get at the start of the game with the Crawdads, which is nice for the guys who are in. I mean, they get all their at-bats, get a lot of action. Runner goes, and this ball is flipped out to left field, and Gallart will have to hustle back over to first as Hall able to make a good throw to the shortstop. Good try to the opposite field by Rover, but the bid is not successful. So here comes Jordan Thompson with one away, and Gallart on first base still. Crawdads inching closer to evening the hits on the scoreboard. 6 for the Potters, 5 for the Crawdads. And catcher Jimenez signals over to one of the coaches. And now Harvey Maxey is going to have a talk with, appears to be Ryan Stevens, the manager of the Potters. So looks like more of a discussion rather than an all-out argument. And while the umpires sort this out, we'll take a quick break. And we'll be right back here with one away in a 2-1 ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Crawdads lead 2-1. We're back here, the bottom of the 7th. First pitch coming to Thompson with Gallart on first is a curveball for strike one. Count 0-1 with one out. 2-1. Not sure what the housekeeping by Blue was and what they were trying to resolve, but whatever it is, it was taken care of. It was sorted out, so we can get back to ball. And here is the one-strike pitch to Thompson. Thompson hits this ball over to left center, but Hall has it for out number 2. 2 catches here in the bottom of the 7th inning by Quinton Hall. And here comes Seth Dardar. Dardar, lefty. So lefty-righty matchup. The lefty Dardar and the righty Brucato. Dardar 0 for 3. First pitch to Dardar is a fastball. Outside corner for strike 1. 2 outs. Crawdads, another one-run game here that they find themselves in against Lincoln. Lost the first one 3-2 on the 8th. Dardar swings, grounds this over to first, and Sapien has it, steps on the bag. Sapien able to successfully make the transition from third base to first base, the bottom of the 7th, and the ball that is struck his way is able to dispose of with no issues. Still 2-1, Crawdads lead. Last 2 innings coming up. You are watching Crawdads Baseball on the Crawdads Streaming Network. So new pitcher for the Crawdads here in the top of the 8th. Gallart jogs out to talk to him here. It'll be 1, 2, 3 hitters for the Potters. It'll be Velker, Hall, and Brandow. The new pitcher for the Crawdads is Jackson Hewlett, the reliever here at St. Mary's. Right-hander. Now have to deal with a lefty, and the first pitch that he throws is popped up high. Werner looking at it, and Werner has it in foul territory in front of the Crawdads dugout for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jackson Hewlett. Hewlett comes in, still has not surrendered a run, has pitched an inning. And here's Quinton Hall, who has a double. First pitch to Hall, strike one. Hewlett looks like he's ready. Ready to go. He gets ready very quickly. And he's not messing around. Already up 0-1 to Hall. Second pitch to Quinton. And Hall takes this out to right field. Brandell moving in on it. Cannot get there. Bounces in front of Brandell. Oh. One out single. For Quinton Hall. That'll bring on Jason Brandau, who 1 for 3 with a triple. Hit into a double play. There's another double play opportunity here for him to bat into. Some really good relievers on this Crawdad team. And this pitch is hit very high over the shortstop Dardar, and instead it'll be Thompson who comes on to make the play. Good job by Dardar. Not trying to do that all by himself and instead letting Jordan come in. Better view on it. Doesn't have to backpedal. Is able to run in to the zone that the ball is going to land in. And there are 2 outs for Jimenez, the catcher. And a runner at first. First pitch to Jimenez is a fastball that misses high and inside. Near Jimenez's helmet. Count 1-0. Jimenez takes. And the count is 1-1 to the Crawdad backstop. So Crawdads have not exactly lit up the scoreboard today. Neither team has. This pitch is popped up very high into shallow center. And Mayshore has it. A 1-2-3 inning for Jackson Hewlett, the third pitcher that Brant Cummings has called upon. And the top of the 8th is over. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Still 2-1. All Walnut Creek. You are watching Walnut Creek Crawdad Baseball on the Crawdad Streaming Network. Bottom of the 8th. Here's Jake Brandell. It'll be Brandell, then Dalton Mayshore, and Trevor Werner. 3-4-5. Still Brucato on the bump here in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch to Brandell is called a strike. Brandell down 0-1. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Crawdads still lead by 1. It's 2-1. Hasn't been a run scored since the top of the 4th by the Potters. Brandell puts a swing on this pitch, and it looks like that will drop for a single. It's an attempt at a sliding catch by Brandell. Not able to corral the baseball, and there is action on the base pass for the Crawdads here in the bottom of the 8th. Sure would like to get some insurance runs if you're Walnut Creek. But maybe that's just the way this is going to be between these two teams this season. 3-2 in the first game and 2-1 today. Pitch to Mayshore is fouled high and away. Count 0-1. Brandell has done a really good job in his initial showing for the Crawdads this summer. Has an RBI today, has another single, and now a single in the 8th. This pitch in there, breaking ball for strike 2 to Mayshore. So Brandell reaches 3 times, all singles, 1 with an RBI. Nice way to start your summer, 3 for 4. Pickoff move over to first. Nothing going on there. Brandell safe. Warner's 0 for 2 has reached on an error. Or not Warner, I'm sorry about that. I meant Dalton Mayshore. And Dalton down 0-2. Takes this pitch, gets away from the catcher, and the runner will advance. So Brandell over at second. Brandell, the only blemish really today. He was caught stealing a few innings ago. But that's really about it. He's done a good job in right field. Hasn't had to make any spectacular plays. Has made all the plays that he's been called upon to do. Count 1-2 after that wild pitch. And the 1-2 is cut on and missed. Mayshore strikes out for the second time. And here comes Trevor Werner.
Third baseman, Trevor Warner.
Seems like Werner is getting closer with every at-bat, getting out of this funk that he's in. And the first pitch to Werner from Brucato bounces in the dirt. But Jimenez able to get after it. Make sure Brandell doesn't take another base on a miscue between pitcher and catcher. And the 1-0 here to Werner after a very long pause from Brucato. Werner hits this very hard, but on the ground over to Haskins, who throws to first. That's the second out, bottom of the 8th. Brandell not able to advance there. And it was a hard hit ball, but it was hit on the screws low. Straight to Trevor Haskins, the shortstop. Things end 2-1. Trevor Werner finished 0 for 3 with a walk, but it's better than all the strikeouts, so at least he's been able to put wood to ball. And it looks like there will be a new pitcher for the Potters. New pitcher for the Potters is the lefty Joseph Villarreal. He'll come in with 2 outs, the bottom of the 8th. So that'll do it for Max Bricado. Bricado able to go 2 2/3 innings. Obviously doesn't give up any runs. Gave up 3 hits. No runs. Was able to strike out a pair. He faced 11 men. And Villarreal will throw his first pitches here to the designated hitter for the Crawdads today, Chase Dabbs, who is 2 for 3, a couple singles and a strikeout. Crawdads still with Brandell over at second base, so he is in scoring position. Villarreal plays his ball over at Alvin Community College from Corpus Christi, Texas. Bats have been a lot quieter today for the Crawdads than they had in the past 3 games. It was 7 against the Conejo Oaks on Sunday. The day before that was 5. And in the game versus the Riptide, they also scored 5. All of those losses, however, so if you only score 2 but you win, take the off day offensively and trade it for a victory. So able to snap a extended losing streak. Pitch here to Dabbs is a breaking ball that misses inside with Brandell at second. Crawdads trying to snap the 5-game losing streak. Runner goes from second over to third. This ball chopped very high and mishandled by the pitcher, and a runner comes around to score. So very alert base running there by Brandell. He took off for third, and the newly inserted pitcher for the Potters, Villarreal, looked like he made the play off the bounce, but then had a problem exchanging the ball into the hand from the glove, did the lefty. And an error on the pitcher. And Brandell, very alert, able to come home safely. Pickoff move. Safe is Chase Dabbs. So Brandell in his first game for Walnut Creek really able to have quite the impact on the contest. Pitch here swung on a miss by Scavone. Good curveball there from Villarreal. Villarreal looks over at first and fires. Fastball low, swung on by Scavone, missed as well. And Tommy is in the 0-2 hole here with 2 away, a runner on first, but the Crawdads lead 3-1 after the heady base running by Brandell. Villarreal has a 5.17 ERA and 15 2/3 innings pitched with 22 strikeouts, looking for the 23rd here. Swung on and missed, and he does have the 23rd strikeout as Scavone goes down on 3 pitches. So, good job to get out of the inning by Villarreal, but Crawdads able to score the 1 run, the good base running, and the error on the pitcher. It is now 3-1 Crawdads, top of the 9th. Crawdads looking to close it down here in Moraga, California. You are watching Crawdads Baseball on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Top of the ninth, and in the game to close the show for the Crawdads is Ty Atkins. First pitch from Atkins to Sapien is a fastball that gets by Sapien for strike one. Believe it'll be Sapien, David's second pitch. Strike two, so Atkins getting after it rather quickly here. And Atkins looking for strike three. Third pitch is fouled back into the netting high. Count is 0-2. It looks like it will not be David on deck. It's Cameron Carr instead. 0-2 pitch is hit by Sapien into shallow right center. And Sapien has a leadoff single here in the top of the ninth inning. Here's Cameron Carr, his first at-bat, obviously, here in the top of the ninth. Carr righty, so has a built-in advantage against the lefty Atkins. Atkins able to get a fastball by him on the outer half for strike one. Atkins with a 5.69 ERA and 6 1/3 pitch, 10 strikeouts. Fastball fouled away. And Atkins is not afraid of anybody. He will throw a fastball. He does not care how good you think you are. He's got that nice sidearm delivery. And that one offline, high and away. Good job by Gallart getting to the ball. Count 1-2. Crawdads lead 3-1. Nobody out. A runner at first. Atkins looking to record the save. 1-2 pitch from Ty. Here it is. That's fouled out of play. And Carr jumping up and down, probably telling himself, I just missed that. If I get that again, I have to make better contact. Pitch from Atkins is a fastball on the inner half, but misses. Count 2-2. Atkins, the flying Hawaiian, at least that's the hashtag that gets attached to him on Twitter. 2-2 pitch from Ty. Fastball that misses high and away. Count runs full. Sapien over at first. And on deck is Trey Furry. 3-2 pitch from Atkins is hit out to right center, and that bounces up against the wall. And the Potters will have runners at second and third. Very surprised that the brakes were put on there by Sapien. Good job by Crawdads, and specifically Jake Brandell, to get the ball back into the infield, but a real tough situation here for Ty Atkins to overcome. 2 runners in scoring position. And Trey Furry up at the plate. So 3 straight new batters. Cameron Carr, now Trey Furry. Then it'll be Jake Grant, who's on deck. Crawdads, Jack Grant, rather, and Crawdads have to get an out here. Trade a run for an out. First pitch almost hits. The batter Furry. Count 1-0. Ty's only walked 5 batters this year. 1-0 pitch is fouled. Out of play. Count 1-1. Just feel like Ty just needs that first out. Did well in his last outing against the Riptide in the 6-5 loss the Crawdads had. He pitched 2 innings, didn't give up any runs, struck out 5. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. That's the good fastball there from Atkins. And there's 1 ball, 2 strikes with nobody out, 2 runners. Scoring position for the Potters, so second and third. Trey Furry looking to bring them home. Here's the 1-2 from Atkins. Fastball. And tipped away. Furry just able to make a little contact. 1-2 pitch again from Atkins is on the ground over to second. And that'll be 1 out, but a run does come home to score as Rover just had to settle for the flip to Scavone. And there's a runner at third with 1 out for Jack Grant. And the ball game is now 3-2. Atkins able to induce a ground ball to get the first out. The Crawdads at risk of having the game tied up on them. First pitch to Grant is a fastball. Inside corner misses. Count 1-0. A little high and inside there. Grant's 14 for 63 this season, so he's seen his share of plate appearances. 1-0 pitch is foul tipped. Off the chest protector, I believe, of Mark Gallart. Count 1-1. And Crawdads looking to dramatically close this game and snap the 5-game losing streak. 1-1 pitch from Atkins is popped up very high, and looks like Dardar has it. Two-handed catch. There's some fundamentals. And Ty Atkins and the Walnut Creek Crawdads only need 1 more out to finish the 5-game losing streak, put a win on the board, and get back to 500. They'll be 7-7. And here's the shortstop, Haskins. Be the last chance for the Potters. 3-2 Crawdads with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. First pitch to Haskins is a fastball inside for strike 1. And Atkins is cool and composed. Cool as a cucumber out there on the mound right now, even though he's had runners in scoring positions. But now with 2 outs, 2 strikes away from getting out of it, check swing, and that'll be ball 1. Haskins 1 for 3 today. Does have a single, but has been out 5-3 and lined out to center. 1-1 pitch from Atkins is a fastball outside for ball 2. No reason for Atkins to give in to Haskins. Atkins, the 4th pitcher for Brant Cummings today, and trying to make sure he is the closing pitcher. 2-1 pitch from Atkins is a fastball in the other half that is swung over. And the Potters down to their last strike. Atkins 1 good pitch away from helping the Crawdads get their first win in a calendar week. 2-2 pitch is a fastball high and inside. The count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Atkins to Haskins. Crawdads looking to climb back into the race for first place. 2.5 games back of the Prune Packers as of now. This would help a lot. Payoff pitch from Atkins is a strike 3. And Haskins goes down looking. That pitch was a little low around the shins, but called a 3rd strike. And Atkins closes the game down for the Crawdads. They win 3-2. So the winning pitcher for the Crawdads was Ulla Iverson. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, just the 1 run. It was earned. Cade 4 walked 1, and with the save is Ty Atkins, who put on a show, had 2 runners in scoring position on him, but was not shaken at all. So he'll have the save. The loser on the other side for the Potters is Carson Coles, but this is a win that has to feel good for the Crawdads, who had lost the final 5 games of a brutal 8 days on the road, with all but one of those games being in Southern California. So they went from SLO to Pasadena to Irvine to Thousand Oaks, and then back here at their home field in Moraga at Louis Gisto, able to get a win. And the important thing is that you start this home stretch at the homestead. You start it off correctly. You get the dub. You're now 3-2 in conference play. And it seems like it's back to business here at St. Mary's for the Crawdads. Tomorrow it'll be 4:30 p.m. That's Wednesday the 23rd. The opponent will be Healdsburg. So Crawdads were able to beat the Prune Packers back on June 10th. Able to blank them 2-0. That was just a great pitch game by the Crawdads staff. And then on the 24th, wrapping up the 3-game stretch here at home, it'll be another 4:30 first pitch against the Solano Mudcats. And then it's back on the road for 4. But Crawdads will cross that bridge when they get there. It's a little thing that's interesting. Same exact starting pitchers. Mentioned it at the top of the broadcast in the first game on June 8th, which was also a Tuesday. I mean, a lot of coincidences here. It was Carson Coles and Ula Iverson, and the game ended with a 3-2 score, but this time, instead of the Potters being victorious, it is the Crawdads. So they're now 7-7. Climb to 2 games back of the Prune Packers, and have an opportunity to take a full game from the Prune Packers tomorrow. Other action today around the CCL. Santa Barbara is supposed to be in action against the Conejo Oaks. Says that game is scheduled. Don't know if it has gone live yet, but top of the 4th at Recreation Park. That's where the Healdsburg Prune Packers play. They're up 4-2 against Solano, so the Crawdads definitely rooting for their Northern Division opponent Solano. So play Healdsburg tomorrow, and then Solano to wrap up the 3 games at home. But Healdsburg leading 4-2, and then San Luis Obispo is playing a non-league game against the Coastal Cubs. The Blues are winning 2-1, and the Riptide are down 7-0 in the top of the 4th against the Arroyo Seco Saints. So Crawdads played the Riptide very close, just lost 6-5 in the bottom of the 9th. But the Riptide being jumped all over right now by the Saints, and that game is actually in Irvine. So the Riptide having some trouble at home this Tuesday evening. Once again, Crawdads are victorious, 3-2. 3 runs off 6 hits and 1 error, and a lot of errors and some wild pitches and pass balls for the Potters. They finished the game with 2 runs and 9 hits, 4 errors, and there was never a crooked number put on the scoreboard by either team. All of the runs scored were the only in their respective half innings. So for the last time, I'm Alon to say, my pleasure to broadcast the game to you here in Moraga, California from Louis Gisto Field on the campus of St. Mary's College. And the Crawdads are victorious, back to 500 at 7-7. They win 3-2. Thank you so much for joining us for Crawdads Baseball on the Crawdads Streaming Network.